The growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can be developed through dedication, hard work, and practice. Its opposite is the fixed mindset. Let's use the growth mindset to start growing, starting right now. And right now, I want to talk to you about the array coaching methodology. This is an array way training. This is not teaching you how coaching works broadly across the world. We're just focused on how we do it here at Array. It's for every market central and deploying Ray who takes on a leadership or mentorship position primarily. But it's more than that, really. We think that every Ray in the company is on a leadership journey of their own, including individual contributors who have nobody reporting to them. And coaching is a big part of that leadership. All right. And what we want to do is make coaching, this approach that we're going to teach you today, core to how we lead. All right. There's a couple of learning objectives I want you to keep in mind. First thing, and they're pretty limited to be honest with you, because this is a high level overview. The first thing is I want you to be able to identify the 4 steps in our coaching methodology. All right, just identify them from a list. All right, the next thing is to, in a scenario, determine which step is the next thing you need to do. Third is to articulate the difference between a coaching moment and a coaching touch point. Now, these are terms of art that we use. We're using them in very precise ways. Obviously, precision training, we try to make everything precise. But the difference between a coaching moment and a coaching touch point is the next thing you need to learn. And more broadly, the terminology associated with coaching. Part of the quiz is going to just make sure that you've got all the basic terminology down. And then finally, we'd like you to be able to recite the coach's goal from memory, all right? To be able to reach in and say the coach's goal, right? That you want every one of your rays to love their job, to be great at it, to see an exciting future for themselves so they grow and stick. And then finally, I want you to be able to know the difference, to be able to describe the purview of the performance coach versus the professional coach. All right. All right. Now, the goal of coaching, I just said it and I'm going to say it over and over and over again with lots of repetition. As a coach, I want my rays to love their job, to be great at them, to see an exciting future for themselves. They grow and stick with us for the duration. All right. That's the goal of coaching. We have 4 repeating, sometimes we'll call them recursive steps, all right? Step 1 is build rapport and trust. You have to have a relationship with someone if you expect them to trust you. So you build rapport. You build that rapport based on a foundation of intent and a foundation of personal amicability, all right? That's the first thing, build rapport and trust. Second thing is diagnose the problem by cracking the case. In almost all situations, a coach is going to be engaging with someone around a problem. You're a problem solver. You're a case cracker, all right? You've got to get good at diagnosing what you think the problem is. And then once you've decided what the problem is, creating what we call a coaching moment, all right? A coaching moment is the emotional scaffolding or the emotional context that someone needs in order to make a change. Sometimes people are open to it, right? And the coaching moment is very simple. In other cases, they don't want to accept the diagnosis. You have to create that coaching moment. That way the person takes that diagnosis and is able to implement the solution. Because the 4th step is to prescribe a solution. Now, a solution prescribed to somebody who's not ready to take it is not worth anything, which is why the coaching moment is so critical. So remember, it goes build trust, diagnose the problem, create a coaching moment, prescribe a solution. Now, diagnosing the problem is often the hardest part of this thing, right? And in order to do the diagnostic, you have to have a common understanding of how human capital works. I'm going to get there in just a second. The first thing I want to talk to you about, though, is how to build rapport and trust. Yes, being kind to someone, being caring, that's table stakes for rapport. You have to begin with friendliness, kindness, right? But ultimately, trust, true trust, begins with the coaching goal, your intent, right? And what is that intent? What is that coaching goal? I'm going to say it again. As a coach, I want my rays to love their jobs, be great at them, to see an exciting future for themselves. They grow and stick with us for the duration, right? Over and over and over again. Get that pounded into your head. Hit pause right now, write it down, record yourself saying it. Whatever you need to do to get that in your head. Love their jobs, be great at them, see an exciting future for themselves. They grow and stick with us for the duration. Now, I will tell you that intent, right? When someone believes that that is your purpose, your intent, that is absolutely essential. But it can't just be intent. You've got to deliver the goods as well. You've got to be present, right? You've got to communicate often. You've got to bring them value, insights that they don't have on their own, right? That way they both trust your intent and they're inclined to follow your advice and perspective. We've all known the person who means well, right? But doesn't have any value to add. As a coach, you've got to mean well first and foremost, which is what the intent is all about. But you've also got to deliver on the goods. That way they trust your judgment as well as your intent. All right. So this thing right here, just memorize it. The next thing is you have to project a belief in the person. Right. I began this app with the growth mindset definition. And I want you to take a second and read the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. As a coach, if you believe in your rays, if you believe in their potential and you project that and you let them know every step of the way, I know you can do this if you choose to do this. That communicates volumes. Now you have to be authentic, right? It can't seem like they're just words and you don't mean it. So you have to find ways to communicate with the people that you believe that if they put their mind to it, and that's the key, if they want it, they can grow, they can put in the work, they can achieve more, right? Projecting that belief in somebody is a huge part of coaching. The next thing is over time, we're going to build a tribe of people, right? A ray means something. Well, when people wear the pin, it really means something to them. This idea that rays always have each other's back, that we want other rays to win, right? Selflessly, because we're all on the same team and we want that person to do well. But selfishly, every time a ray has a victory, it makes us look good as rays, right? We all win when one person wins, right? And if every single ray learns this thing and embodies this idea that for other rays, they just want them to achieve the goal of coaching, right? That's going to go a long way towards the people knowing that when somebody else is in this tribe, they can be trusted.